Have you ever placed a forex trade and then watched it immediately move in the wrong direction and take out your stop loss in just a few minutes or even faster? Are you sick and tired of losing trade after trade after trade when all of your indicators told you that it was a great time to buy or sell? Most importantly, are you willing to spend a couple of hours learning how to set up your charts in a way that all but guarantees you'll eliminate 80% of your losing trades? We've all been there. You're sitting in front of your charts for an hour or more during the London or New York session, waiting for all of your indicators to line up and give you an entry signal. The moment finally arrives when all systems are go and every indicator on your chart is screaming at you to buy, buy, buy. So you put in your trade, and within a few seconds watch as price starts moving in the wrong direction. And within a few minutes, you're stopped out. Worse yet, as soon as your stop gets hit, price turns back around and moves past your original entry and into profit. Or at least it would have been profit if you hadn't been stopped out. You did everything right you knew how to do. Trading during peak hours, waiting patiently for a signal to get into the trade, with a reasonable stop loss to give the trade every chance to succeed, and you still lost. I don't think there's a trader alive who hasn't had their hearts ripped out by this scenario on numerous occasions, and some find they deal with it on an almost daily basis. Now, some traders blame their brokers for stop hunting their trades. Some traders blame bad luck. Some traders blame God. But those traders are wrong. It's not a matter of who's to blame. It's a matter of knowing that forex trading is like a puzzle. And right now, you are missing the most vital piece necessary to making the trading picture clear to you once and for all. Have you ever tried to put together a jigsaw puzzle that was missing some pieces? Even when only one or two pieces are missing, you cannot get the full picture until you locate those pieces and put them in their proper place. With forex, the missing piece isn't an EA or some new whiz-bang indicator or any of that nonsense. The missing piece for you is education. The missing piece is learning exactly what the bigger traders are doing on their charts to help them spot trade setups, and then following their lead. Do you doubt me? Do you think I'm kidding? Then let me ask you this. On any given chart, there are at least 60 lines you need to have drawn to alert you when and where you can expect to see price run into resistance or support. Can you name those lines? Can you name 10 of them? How about 5? The fact is, most retail traders, and that's you and I, cannot identify more than a handful of points where price action is likely to stall out in reverse. Would you care to take a guess as to what happens at those price points multiple times per day? All the major indicators give off signals pointing in the opposite direction. MACD, RSI, CCI, you name it. They all tell you to go one way while price is just about to start running in the opposite direction. Without this knowledge, you are doomed to following the signals you get from your indicators and keep getting into trades when the big players are setting up to go the other way. Guess who loses when that happens? That would be you. Every single time. You and every other trader who fails to understand the importance of all these lines that the major traders are using to spot entries and exits. I don't care if you fine-tuned your MACD to work in conjunction with your RSI or CCI and anything else you want to toss on your charts to get the earliest possible entries. If your signal coincides with one of these hidden price points, your trade is all but doomed from the start. And no, it's not a conspiracy between brokers and MT4 or anyone else that you want to toss into the mix to try and steal your account from you. is simply that the players that make things happen in Forex rely on a completely different way to spot and take trades than you. And that way does not involve MACDs or CCIs or stochastics or anything else that involves changing colors or crossing lines. You see, if you are relying upon your indicators to get in and out of trades, you're relying on outdated information. Information that the big traders don't need or they simply ignore because they are already starting to get out of the trade right about the time you were getting in. Now be honest with yourself here. When was the last time your indicator setup gave you an entry where price hadn't already moved in your direction by 5 or 10 pips, or even more, before you got the signal? It probably has never happened. The reason for that is all indicators are what is called lagging, meaning they take the prices from the last X number of candles or bars or boxes, whatever kind of chart you use, and look for a median price to plot on your chart. By the time the indicator absorbs enough price data to give you a buy or sell signal, price has already moved in that direction by several pips, sometimes by a dozen pips or more. Sure, you can still get into a good trade from there on occasion, but you left a bunch of easy pips on the table while you waited for those lagging indicators to assure you it was okay to take the trade. Now give this some thought. How far ahead would you be, both in pips and financially, if you were entering all your trades when price first started moving in your direction, instead of waiting for a lagging indicator to change colors or cross lines? For many traders, you included, the answer to that question would be that they now own accounts that are steadily growing instead of accounts they constantly needed to top off by adding more cash to stay afloat. Isn't it about time you gave yourself a chance to finally succeed at Forex and started trading with the big boys instead of against them? Here's what happens to you in your account if you answered yes to that question above. You sign into your account each morning like usual. You take a quick glance at your charts to determine what price action has been doing the last several hours, and that takes about 30 seconds. You spot the price lines that are currently in play and do a quick mental calculation to determine how many pips separate those lines. You wait patiently for price to reach one of those lines, and typically this only takes a few minutes, and then you place your order based on what those lines are telling you. Your stop loss is automatically placed for you by an EA that you have installed on the chart, and you drag that stop to a spot which is much closer to the price action but still outside the current range. A few minutes later, price has hit your target, and depending on if you're trading for a specific number of pips each session, you're either done for the day or you're getting ready for your next trade. Notice there was nothing in there about waiting for an indicator to give you a signal. That's because once you understand the significance of all these lines that you currently don't know about, the lines, or actually the prices represented by those lines, become your indicator. You buy or you sell based on the presence of the lines or the prices themselves. You've heard traders use the phrase, price is the best indicator. This is what they're talking about. So do you think you can spare a couple of hours to learn how to plot and then trade from these powerful price points? If so, use the Buy Now button below to enroll in the FXScalping Academy and start trading profitably on a regular basis. As a student of the FXScalping Academy, you'll quickly and easily learn how to easily set up a series of charts that allow you to see all of these lines at a glance, how to use free software, which is included, to automate the drawing of these lines so you don't have to continually redraw them yourself, what the most profitable trade setups look like using these lines and how to spot them instantly, how to anticipate market reaction and use pending orders to guarantee that you get filled at the price you want when you want. Why trading just one pair, the pound yen, will give you all the price action you'll need to easily make 20 to 40 pips per day, typically in under 1 hour. How trading for a goal of 20 pips a day can quickly have you earning 3 or even 4 figures a day on a small starting account. How to scale an additional trade so that a single price move of 15 pips can result in you earning 35 to 40 pips in just minutes. In short, what you're getting as a student in the Forex Scalping Academy is a masterclass in how to trade Forex using the same data relied upon by the big traders in order to follow their moves and ride their momentum into profit. But unlike so many other master classes on so many other topics, which turn out to be long on theory and short on practical application, in the Forex Scalping Academy, you're going to learn real-world tricks and tactics you can begin applying immediately so you can start making profitable trades from day one. And for those of you who act decisively, you will get a bonus worth many times the cost of this course. For the first 100 of you that enroll in the Forex Scalping Academy, you'll get a free pass into my trade room for 1 week of live trading, using these very same methods you'll learn in the course. I will be there personally to talk about the current price action and to look for trade setups. I will also be able to answer any questions you might have live and in person. It's one thing to watch videos and read PDFs. It's another level entirely when you can work hand in hand with someone who can guide you and answer your questions along the way. So if this sort of hands-on mentorship appeals to you, I recommend you act fast. The limit of 100 spots is not some fake scarcity thing that I'm inventing to try and persuade you to buy. My trade room software is configured to allow exactly 100 people to join my room. And if you try to enter as student number 101, you're going to get shut out. There is one thing you need to know, though, before we go any further. Knowing where these lines are at on your chart will help you to avoid taking the majority of losing trades, but it won't eliminate losers entirely. You are always going to lose the occasional trade in Forex. A few years back, I was in a trade on the pound dollar when someone blew up a car carrying a candidate for prime minister in Pakistan, and my charts went absolutely nuts for about 20 minutes, taking me out of my trade at a loss in the process. Sometimes you can do everything right and still be wrong. What you're going to learn in this course is how to eliminate those trades you would never have taken to begin with if you had only known what you were about to go up against. And if you can eliminate those trades, you are going to be so far ahead in this game that the occasional losing trade really won't make any difference to you. But if you're one of those people in search of a holy grail that never loses, this is not the class for you. In fact, you should do yourself and your finances a big favor and get out of Forex until you mature enough to realize that losses are just a part of the game. The idea is to minimize those losses whenever possible, but eliminating them completely is simply never going to happen. So if you're ready to start the new year off by eliminating the vast majority of your losing trades and finally start making some consistent profits from your Forex trading, enroll in the Forex Scalping Academy by clicking on the Buy Now button below, and I'll see you on the inside. Oh, just one last thing. If you pass on this offer now, it won't be long before you take that next trade that immediately runs against you, and you'll sit there wondering if you could have avoided the trade and saved your account balance from any further damage with the information you could have learned in this course. Don't put yourself in that position. Click the Buy Now button and get the knowledge you need to avoid those trades in the first place and start focus on winning trades.